Holy crap, guys! What's up? I know it's only been a week since I uploaded a video, but it feels like it's been freaking forever. And as most of you know, I do live in Florida, and since I live in Florida, I do deal with hurricanes from time to time. So because of the most recent hurricane, which thank God did not hit us, but I just want to give my prayers to the Bahamas. I mean, seriously, if you guys have seen pictures of what the Bahamas looks like, it looks like a horror film. But I wanted to give big thank yous to everyone out there, whether it was Facebook, here, or on Twitter, and said to me, stay safe. Seriously, I really appreciate it. But I am about to talk to you guys about some movies, starting with this fucking clown. So It Chapter 2 is part 2 of this It duology that follows after the events of It Chapter 1. And basically in It Chapter 2, we once again follow the Losers Club 27 years after the events of It Chapter 1 as the Losers Club reunite to go back to Derry to try and finally defeat Pennywise once and for all. Alright guys, so let's get into It Chapter 2. I was really looking forward to It Chapter 2, mainly because I loved Part 1 so much when I saw it back in 2017. And for those of you who did not see my review of It Chapter 1 back in 2017, holy crap, that was 2 years ago. God, time flies. But in that review, I did mention that before I saw It Chapter 1, that I did see the miniseries, and I was not a fan of that miniseries whatsoever, minus a couple of things, and that Chapter 1 of this duology was what I wanted to see from Chapter 1 of that miniseries. So as you can imagine, when I heard that when they were bringing back pretty much 90% of the team from Part 1 back for Part 2, I got really excited. And not just that, but the amazing cast that they had got for the adult losers, I got even more excited. But a big part of me was really worried that because once I saw that teaser trailer for Chapter 2, I had this huge fear that it would not be as good as the first one, but I'm happy to say that I really liked It Chapter 2 quite a bit. First of all, starting off with the performances, going right into the adult cast of the Losers Club. Seriously, everyone cast as the adult version of the Losers did such a phenomenal job. Now, I'm not gonna remember all their names, but I know I'd be doing them a huge disservice if I didn't mention all their names, so give me a second. From James McAvoy as adult Bill, Jessica Chastain as adult Beverly, Jay Ryan as adult Ben, Bill Hader as adult Richie, who by the way I'll get to in a little bit, to Isaiah Mustafa as adult Mike, to James Ransoon, I think that's his name, how you pronounce his last name anyways, as adult Eddie, and then Andy Bean as adult Stanley. Seriously, all these guys did such a great job of being the adult counterparts. But the best part about all this is that when I was watching the Adult Losers Club was that it actually felt like I was watching just the Losers Club, not just the adult versions or like the replacement cast for the younger actors. I felt like I was watching the Losers Club once again. Seriously, the adult actors, all of them, do such a great job of really filling in their younger actors' counterparts. But easily, the standout of the adult cast, and I'm pretty much echoing what every other critic out there has said, but Bill Hader absolutely crushed it as the adult Richie. Seriously, every time that Bill Hader was on screen, he had me laughing my ass off. I mean, seriously, every scene that he was in, he was such a joy to watch, and every time he was on screen, I couldn't get enough of him. I honestly wanted to see him more than all the other adult cast in this movie. But of course, that does not take any credit from Bill Skarsgård's performance once again as Pennywise. Seriously, Bill Skarsgård in this movie, once again, like in Chapter 1, is so damn good. Every time that he was on screen, once again, like I mentioned in Chapter 1, he is so not only entertaining, but at parts, he is one creepy fucker. I mean, one scene in particular that involves mirrors. I mean, whoa. One thing that I really liked about It Chapter 2, and this actually caught me off guard quite a bit, was just how fun this movie was. And I will actually go far as to say is that this film felt more like a comedy than a horror film. Now, don't get me wrong, there are definitely your fair share of some horror set pieces with scare. It Chapter 2 felt like more of a black comedy of sorts, or just a comedy of sorts than a horror film. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and this isn't a bad thing necessarily, well, to an extent, I should say. Even though I did find myself laughing more than being scared, I will not lie to you guys when I will say that there are at least 2 or 3 set pieces that are really, really good. And not only do these set pieces have really good tension, but they end with some really good scares to it too. And another thing that I really dug about this movie is that amongst all the comedy and some of the scares of this movie was that there were some really heartfelt moments. One in particular, I was just like, damn, that hit hard. And one other thing that I really liked about It Chapter 2 was that there was one particular thing that I was really worried about going in when it came to Chapter 2, and how they executed this one particular thing. I was really happy with how they did this certain thing. Like I mentioned in my pros, when I first saw the trailer for It Chapter 2, my biggest fear was that this movie would not be as good or just even live up to It Chapter 1, which I absolutely loved. And I had to say this, guys, I do feel like that It Chapter 2 was not as good as the first movie. One of my biggest complaints with It Chapter 2 was that this movie wasn't a particularly scary movie. When I'm watching a movie about seeing adults reuniting after so many years, taking on this demonic and this really terrifying clown, I'm not really wanting a comedy. I'm really wanting a horror film. And like I mentioned before, for the most part, I wasn't really scared. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are definitely some really good set pieces that have good scares, but I didn't really find this movie scary. Now again, I will say that the comedy does work, but I really wanted to be more fear. I wanted to be more scared than I was laughing. Another thing is this. It Chapter 2 is 2 hours and 50 minutes. This is nearly a 3-hour film. Now here's the thing. I completely get that the book, It, is a massive book. I do understand that the filmmakers wanted to include as much as they could in It Chapter 2, but there's a reason why that there are some books that are so big that they just cannot fit some scenes, as much as they do love those scenes, into a film adaptation. I was definitely entertained for the most part, but there were more than a few scenes and I was thinking, okay, this could be cut easily. This doesn't really have to be in here. Another thing is that It Chapter 2 is definitely a bigger and a much more ambitious film, and even though this film does go bigger, it doesn't always work out in their favor, particularly with some of the CGI. And since that It Chapter 2 is more ambitious, there are a couple of things that definitely do not stick the landing. And another one of my biggest gripes with It Chapter 2 was that this movie just didn't feel as satisfying or as strong as It Chapter 1 did. I didn't feel that same gut punch, that same payoff, that same satisfaction as I got from It Chapter 1. And I don't know if everyone will agree with me on this, but I feel like the ending for It Chapter 2 was kinda cheesy. So overall, It Chapter 2 was a very good companion piece to an excellent first chapter. Though I do think that Chapter 1 is a much stronger and a much more satisfying film, It Chapter 2 is still a very well done movie. All in all, I'm going to give It Chapter 2 a 3.5 out of 5 stars. In some ways, It Chapter 2 was a bit of a disappointment, but nonetheless, it was still a solid movie. Alrighty guys, so comment down and let me know below, between It Chapter 1 or Chapter 2, which one do you prefer? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. I'm also on Snapchat and Stardust. So if you guys want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links and the usernames are in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of It Chapter 2. If so, please hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell for whenever a new video of mine goes live. If you guys want to see any of my previous 2 videos, please click either right there or there. And of course, until my next review, I'll see you all next time.